Welcome back to Alchemy Factory, everybody. In the last episode, we were setting up all of our automation to deliver all of our products automatically to the sales floor so that we no longer have to stock shelves, and that's done. We no longer have to stock shelves. The next thing we need to work on is automating our plants. So, let's go into our research tree first. Go down here and look at the research. Oh, we've already researched the nursery and the basic fertilizer. I think these are the two things we're going to need. So basic fertilizer says it is crafted at an assembler, and it looks like it uses a couple of items I have not seen before. So let's place this down and see if we can figure this out real quick. Just place an assembler anywhere. Take a look at the recipe for basic fertilizer. All right, so this is plant ash and quicklime powder. Okay, so plant ash is crafted at a crucible by burning what looks to be sage on a crucible, which is going to be one of these right here. So we're going to need a stone furnace and crucibles to burn sage to make that powder there. Do we need to grind it afterwards? Doesn't look like it. We're going to get plant ash from that. We're going to combine that with quicklime powder, which looks like it is just grinded up quicklime. Okay, now how do we make quicklime? We could hit, is it V? Let's see here. Quicklime is crafted at a crucible. Oh, okay, burning stone in the crucible will give you quicklime. Alright, so we're going to need at least 2 furnaces. One for the sage, one for the quicklime, and each one will hold 3. So we'll set it up. The way that I want to do this, I want one to be making fuel for this whole thing, and be making charcoal for this whole assembly, so that we only feed it with wood once, and then the charcoal will come back around and fuel the whole thing. Right. And then we'll run a conveyor belt around. We could go either way. So let's put our crucibles on the top and kind of figure this out logistically, how we want to do this. So we'll take our basic resource in, and we will take the wood out. We'll put down a elevator to grab this. Hit T to change it to like that. All right, and so that's going to take our charcoal out, and then we want to feed that back into the whole machine. And that's going to keep all those fueled after the initial. We'll feed these crucibles wood once. How often will we have to feed these crucibles, I wonder? We'll set up so we'll set up, I know what we'll do. We will set up a table saw, and I'm wondering if we should just pick this up to make it the easiest to do, or if I should try and elevate it with an elevator. Let's do an elevator. I just kind of like the compact look, and we want to go up to this height. We want to put down some lab stands across the bottom so we can build on top of these. Blocks will work after that. It's weird, you can't place the blocks on top of it, but you can place the lab stands. I guess it's not weird, but it's just the way, I mean, it makes sense. It's just the way it is. Okay, so that will feed our wood in. It's going to take charcoal down and feed the whole machine with charcoal. And with any luck, that should go around and feed the whole thing. Now, this produces 15 charcoal a minute. And these use, I'm not sure. It doesn't give you that statistic right here, but we know it produces 40 heat value per piece of charcoal. And I'm hoping that's going to be enough so that we won't have to keep spending a lot on wood just to burn, basically. The charcoal should be more efficient and burn a lot longer than the initial wood we put in. That's the plan anyways. Okay, so that's the first step. That's fueling everything. Now we need to turn We're going to just keep them all just like this across the top. I need some stone. Grab a stack here. And we want to take these all the way across. And so we're going to have 3 do sage and 3 do stone. So we need to feed sage in here and stone in here. And I'm going to basically do it the same way I did that one. So we're just going to run lab stands and then blocks. And we want a conveyor belt going in that way to that one and to that one. We want a conveyor belt going into that one. Over and over. Okay. Now we just need to feed in sage and stone. Elevators, just like we did on the other side. I'm out of planks. Grab some planks. Stack of those. Spent them all on fuel. Powering this thing up to test it. Okay, so then we feed in sage there, stone there, and all that's got to run down to an assembler. We need 15 of each per minute to make 15 per minute fertilizer. I think this is going to work. All we got to do now is belt all of this out. Like this. They're only making 15 a minute. We don't have to worry about the speed of the belts or anything like that. And we'll take an elevator. I think I want it actually on the ground level. Hit T to change the input and output. Like that. Oops, that's in the wrong spot. Right here. And then we can just fill that in with a couple of blocks to get our belts across. And finally, a belt to feed it into each one. Up the end of day 39. Should be another day where we didn't have to stock the shelves. I think the last day 38, we made like 20 grand without even having to stock the shelves. I spent a lot of money on seeds and buying a lot of items to stock all the machines and get them all up and running, like wood and stone and stuff. But I don't think I spent that much today, so it's probably an even more profitable, oh yeah, much more profitable day today. Wow. That's like 30, what is it, 38,000, something like that? That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash. Okay, so there we go. That's going to be our sage powder, or whatever it's called, coming out. Quicklime. What's it called? Plant ash, and then quicklime. Okay. And then we will just feed that into an assembler. Something like that. I'll have to check the math on how much these are running. Let me grab some sage. Just grab a stack of it just to see how much all this produces. I'll need some wood as well to get that started. I don't know how much I actually need to throw into it to get it going, but we're going to do it just like that. You can burn that charcoal right there for starters, and then that. We'll probably have to keep this full. We may change that out to a larger storage box just to make sure we keep that full, or put the sawmill back is probably more ideal. All right, so we want sage in this one, and we want stone in this one. I'll just grab a stack. Toss into each one. They should be getting fuel any second now and start heating up. There we go. Now, how much is this going to produce? 6.7. What's the math on that? That's 12, 18, 20 point something. This one produces, wow, 20 a minute, so that's 60. That's huge. That's a lot. You get a lot of plant ash. So we're going to have extra plant ash, so we should probably put a storage box down to hold these items, the excess, if we have any. I'm fairly sure we're going to have extra plant ash, so we may be able to run multiple of these. So if we're getting, what's the math on that? 6 times 3 is 18, 7 times 3 is 2.1, so that's 21.1 quicklime per minute. We're getting 21. So that will run one of these. We'll have a little bit left over, but that doesn't seem like a lot. So I'm wondering if we could maybe stack this, get some more efficiency out of it, or maybe adjust this to make more stone instead of all the sage. I guess I just need to sit down and do the math. If I really want it to be 100% efficient, I would need to sit down and do the math on this. Like, what is the efficiency? What's the multiplier of 6.7 into 20? And that's 3, essentially, with 1 left over. You know what? I'm going to leave it like it is, and we may need it later. You know what? We'll just have extra in the storage box. I'm just going to leave it like it is. I can, calculate out all the math later, but for now, I just want to get this up and running, and that looks to be working. We are getting, some quicklime down there, and plant ash. Now, what we need to do is turn that quicklime into quicklime powder. Oof, that's another step, so we'll probably need to grind that, right? Let's see what that how much that gives us per minute. Okay, 6.7, 6.7. So the math is the same, at least, on the quicklime powder. So we just basically need to place the assembler at the end of all this, like that. Feed that resource in, and that is going to make our basic fertilizer. I could probably back all this up a little bit if I really wanted to. And pick that up, copy it. Let's put it right there, because we need the grinder. And then we can belt it in. Saves a little bit of space, a little bit neater that way. Okay, I like that. Did we pick up any quicklime? Toss that in. And the plant ash, toss that in. So we probably need to figure out a way to stack this thing and really get it efficient. But for now, this is going to be up and running and working. We just have to feed it with fuel, sage, and stone. All right, that is that machine set up and running. Is there anything not working? Is everything working? It looks like we're not. Oh, I gotta kickstart it again. I forgot. I gotta kickstart it. Let's grab a little bit of fuel to get it kickstarted, and now everything should be working. There it is. There it is. Our charcoal is gonna start flowing down, and it will self-feed now. And that should be more efficient than just feeding everything with planks. That should be a lot more efficient, like twice as fuel efficient as just feeding it with planks, because I think the planks give us 20 burn, or whatever this, they're calling it P, 20p and 40p heat value. So our heat value is slightly higher because I spent a point in the upgrade tree to get more fuel efficiency, 10% more. So our fuel efficiency is going to be slightly higher than 40, but there it is. That is running. All right. That's our basic fertilizer. Okay, so after sitting down and doing the math on this thing, this basic fertilizer is not going to produce nearly enough fertilizer for what we need. So I have gone back to the drawing board, and I've essentially, quadrupled, sextupled our stone output here, quicklime output. So this is going to be our quicklime factory, and I've just basically just built it out so that I could visualize it, and I can copy this blueprint and paste it where I need it. The idea is that this is going to grind all of our stone, and it's going to feed into this machine. Now, what I would like to do once I get all the belting sorted out is just kind of copy this whole thing and then move it over, right? That's the plan. Copy it, move it over to connect it, and take the whole machine wherever I need it. But this is the basic idea for my stone crushers. So I've got 6 of them instead of just 1. And I did not design this with stackability in mind, so I wanted to go back and design something stackable so that it wasn't just massively sprawled out all over the place, right? So something stackable is going to take up less of a horizontal footprint. I went with 2 wide. Just use the basic blocks and beams. Blocks and beams is all I used. Same stuff I've done before over here, just blocks and beams, basic stuff. So this is going to turn all of our stone into quicklime. And what I kind of have to do is figure out the belting now. So what I've got to do is raise each one of these up. So I want that to be the intake, and I want it to raise up to the level of that crucible right there. That's the one I'm aiming for, right? I'm going to do the same thing right here. Oh, I did not rotate that. Get the rotation correct, Jimmy. Like that. Okay. Now we can fill this in with blocks if we want to. We don't really have to. We will need some blocks for it to be, to put down our belts. So for belts, we're going to need at least something like this. And I'm just using wood blocks. You could use stone or whatever you like. I'm just using wood because, well, it's cheap. It's quick and easy to make. And so these are going to feed into all three of those crucibles. So we're going to take this one out here and then this one out here. And then when we sandwich these together, those belts should snap right in. I think the game is designed to intake them just the way we have it like that. And once we sandwich this in, those should snap into those crucibles. If not, we should have enough room to kind of peek in between them and align the belts. Now we just have to repeat this for every floor. So we're just going to place down more blocks all the way up so that we have... Oh, I don't need to cover that up. I need it right there. So we want our elevator right here, and we're going to raise it up to the correct level, which looks like to be right there. Yep. We're going to do one block right here and one elevator connecting this one up. And then, of course, we'll need some supports for our platform. So we're going to put down, I guess, these stands on top of these conveyor belts so that we can get the next level of conveyor belts up. And if you really wanted to, you could, oh, I need my stairs. You could fill all this in, all this empty space. But there's no need to, unless you just want it aesthetically. Like that. What we want there, and then we want to put down our blocks. Build this level up. Like that. And we're going to take this belt. Ooh, I'm out of wood. Luckily, we've got a lot right here on site. Grab that wood. Get back up on top. And then we'll take... Oh, come on now. Snap like I want you. Why isn't that snapping? Oh, because it's not the right height, Jimmy. It's not the right height. You need one more block. Snap in there. Like that. All right. Now... I jumped right over it. Now we can... Yeah, now our conveyor belts are working correctly. There we go. And that is all three of them. And they're just the right height where that should all snap together. We need one more for the very top, the tippy top. That's the second level, so we want to put down our stands over these. Put down blocks right here and right here. That one pushes me off every time. Did it last time, too. Oh, and I jumped over it. I need to maybe just build a platform to get up here, some scaffolding. Okay, and this one, we got to raise it up as well. Just the same way. We want it... I think that's the correct height. That looks to be the correct height. We'll know in just a minute, right? Like that. Yeah, that looks correct. Now we just put down our blocks to get the right height for the belts. End of day 41. Another day of making money without stocking the shelves. I love it. We made a cool 49 grand. I did not buy any materials because I've just been kind of racking my brain on this goofy build here, trying to do the maths on it all, and you know the maths weren't mathing with that build over there, so I had to go back to the drawing board on this to kind of. This is how I mean, this is the way the numbers work. I could sit down and bore you guys to death with all the math, but this is how we're going to have to do this if we want to make any sizable production of this quicklime powder. There we go. That's done. Now, all we gotta do is sandwich these two machines together, fuel it all up. We will fuel this with coal like we did over there. I'll have to build a machine for that. This is, yeah, because this is going to make coal, so we'll need at least one for coal. I guess we could just use wood, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use coal, and we'll have to build a little elaborate conveyor belt system to get all of the fuel into there. And so this will turn out, how much was it? Like 6.7 a minute. All right, so pull out your calculators. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18 times 6.7. What is that? Hang on. Let me pull out my calculator because I don't even remember the numbers. That is 120.6, right? 120 quicklime coming out of that machine per minute, which the Sage was doing 20 a minute, so that's going to balance so much nicer than, you know, whatever we had, 18 to 60. You know, so now all we have to do is balance this 120. So there's 20 apiece, so 20, 40, 60. Do that twice, right? We only need 2 of these furnaces burning the sage to get our plant ash to balance. So 2 to 6. It's a pretty big, stark difference in the two, but that's what we got to do to get the numbers to work, right? 2 to 6. That's how we're going to do it. I suppose I could do 1 to 3 and only use one of these. Like, yeah, I could do one of these. Should math out to be very similar to 3 of these, but for this virtually the same footprint, I could just do 2. Let's do it. It's done now, right? We might as well use it. Now that all this is done, what we have to do is take this and sandwich it against it, right? And that will start feeding our stone into these crucibles. But we have to feed these furnaces, right? And to feed these furnaces, we're going to need some wood. So I've just got a table saw down here below with beams and blocks. Just a basic little blueprint I can copy. Now, I really didn't sit down and do the math on this. Honestly, I don't think it's worth it. I think the easiest way is to just copy this, 1 for each one. That's just going to be, it's going to be a clean look when it's done. It's going to look aesthetic. Like, all of this is going to match that. So all I'm going to do is, let's go with our blueprint mode. Let's copy all of that. And let's hit F to confirm, and we're just going to, I am out of iron, cancel, grab some iron. Our iron is coming out of nails right here, grab a stack of iron. And then, let's try that again, hit B and R, and we're just going to make sure we get that facing this direction. And we are just going to do the same thing. We're going to stack that, and then I am going to put down some stairs because I can't reach that high. Where are the stairs? Let's go from this side. And we're just going to take this guy and we're going to place 2 more on top. Make sure I've got it lined up correctly. You know what, I actually don't have this quite right. I want them right up against the edge. I want them right up against the edge so that they sandwich against this and feed directly into it, right? I'm trying to think. Yeah, because I'll have to put conveyor belt. If I don't, I'll just have to belt it out, and that's an extra step. So let's take these. Let's remove them real quick. Let's get it correct. And let's copy that and put them right up against the edge of this machine. The idea is this machine is going to be copied and pasted right up against this. So these outputs right here, because this is going to output our wooden planks, is going to sandwich right up against this, and it's going to feed all of our furnaces. Now, what we need to do, we need to have consideration for our outputs. So this is going to be our quicklime coming out. So we just have to kind of Why is that not snapping where I want it? Get in there, guy. Do I not have those rotated correctly? Tell me I've got those Dang it. Did I mess something up? No, they're working. I just probably need a little bit of height. Let's put down some stairs. Actually, right along the side will be fine. And let's copy that blueprint. And yeah, there we are. For some reason, well, you're not at just the right height for these guys. They tend to be funny. There we go. Now that is going to quicklime. That's going to be our quicklime powder coming out of each of these, right? Now, we need to fuel it, and we need to have consideration for the outputs of these. So, let me delete this. I don't need it right this second. This is going to come over and snap right in, and it should be the right height if I'm looking at it correctly. You know that... Let's move it. I think I've got the bottom two correct, but that... Oh, you know what? I just lift it up. Just lift it up. Use lifts. Oh, yeah, because the bottom is going to feed in like this. So feed that. It's going to come from the table saw, right, into here. Like that. We have to lift it up one square because we've got those on the bottom. I guess you could put another set of blocks underneath or beams underneath to line it up perfectly. But that should be that. We're going to have to do the same thing on the next one. Right? Because it is... Let's bring this a little bit closer just so we can kind of get a better look at it. I probably should have shift-clicked that, but like that. And we will hit T to cut it. And we're going to rotate it into place so we can get a better look at this, how this should line up now. I've got it off by one square, of course. I placed it incorrectly. B, hold shift, run it out, hit T, there we go. Now get it in the right place, Jimmy. There we go. So the idea is that these are going to feed directly into there, right? It's going to be sandwiched right up against it. We've got to build our belts for this first, right? So we got to have output coming out of here, and I'm just going to take them to the very top and dump them on... Let's grab that so I can get a bird's eye view of this. All right, so I'm going to have to pick up... That one's going to be picked up, and I'm going to have to pick this one up a square or two. Same thing with that one. That's going to have to go up a couple squares. It's not a big deal. But what we have to do now is put down some blocks to build a roof for this. And I'm just going to use basic blocks like this. And I actually don't need these right here. I can just use beams. Beams are number 9. Hit T. Run them across. Is that the right width? Oh, I'm out of wood again. Shocking. Just grab 2 stacks this time. We're using a lot of wood in this build. I guess the alternative is we would be using stone for all the blocks, but now let's try this again. All right, rotate where I will need you, like that. Now we just have to figure out the height of this. I have not thought that far ahead, to be perfectly honest. Let's just do it like this. All right, and we're gonna want basically the same thing over here. If we hit T to scroll this back to the normal size, like this. Do I even want that up that high? Do I care? Do I want it? I don't think I do. I don't think I need that. Kind of building this as I go. I'm thinking about it out loud, but I do definitely need this one. Okay. So we need this to come... I just have to figure out the height. All right, let's start with this. Let's start by building this up to get our output, our quicklime out of the machine. So what we're going to do is put a couple of these on the ends. We're going to take all of these out that way, all of these out that way. And we're going to put down an elevator. We're going to take this as high as it needs to go, but the question is, how high does it need to go, right? I'm still holding down the button here. I want it to go above this machine. So something like this is probably... what I'm thinking is I'm going to take it across the top of this machine, right? Because that lines up perfectly with this rail. And if we put down a couple more beams here, we can get an idea of the height here. And it should run, the idea being that it should run, well, it won't let me do it, across this way, right? Coming from there, across here, and then we can take it down to the floor or wherever we need it to go. I think that's how I'm going to do this. Let me plan it out just a bit more, get it hashed out all the way, figure out these belts. I think that's going to work, though. I don't see any reason why it won't. So if we grab the input from that, we take this up all the way. I don't know if this is the right height. I guess that's the only question. If I need to go to this height or this height, right? I basically need to finish building this so I know exactly what height I need to take it to. Yeah. And then we just need to figure out the belts for this. Should just be some table stands across here. Something like this. And then blocks across here and here. So that's going to feed the input. Oh, I needed to... That actually needs to go down one. Because that's going to line up. That's going to output right here. So we actually need a elevator right here to feed in from the sawmill, the table saw. Yes, that is the correct height into that. So let's do the same thing right here. From the table saw, feed it into the furnace. Yeah, like that. All right, and let's replace our blocks. Because we're going to need belts to come out of that. Now, I guess the real question, I haven't thought this far. What do we do with these belts right here? It's a little cramped, I know, sorry. These belts, could they go... They could go up the center. Let's take them this way. I don't see any reason why we can't do that. Let's fill this in. Just fill this in with blocks. Do I want my... No, one more and then the lift. So let's take them to the same height. For now, we may need to adjust this. But it's just going to pull those resources in to the roof of this factory. Now, we could just put a roof on top of everything, I guess. Make it look nice. Doesn't matter, though. It really doesn't. It's just aesthetics. Like, how nice do you want this to look? I have never been of the personality that I am function over form. Alright, I know some people might like the aesthetics a little more, but that has never been me. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to turn these. We need to rotate those. So, like... Oh, you gotta get them the right height, Jimmy. You gotta get them the right height, my guy. Like that. And that one is too tall right there. Now, that one... That's the height we need. So I think those elevators might be a 1 square too high. That's fine. We can just pull them out, and I am out of iron again. That's clay. Here's our iron. I am running out of iron. I got to restock these machines. I am running out of iron. Oh, this build is costing me a lot, but I think in the end, this is going to be worth it, because the amount of resources we need to feed this thing is just astronomical. And now what I want to do, yeah, that is too high. 13 objects, yes. Put that back where it was, and we want it to come out right there to be on top of this machine. So we're going to run a belt like that. We're going to run a belt like that. And then we're going to have these two in the center. We could probably just join them all up. We could probably even do it like this. I don't know that we're running that much material through that we need. Yeah, we'll just have two outputs coming out of this, like this. So that one will feed off into this line. The center one here will feed off into that line. And then we need to do the same thing with these top ones, and they will just snap right in. They will snap right into the top. That should be the correct height. Let me look at it. Oh, yeah. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's going to work perfect. So let me just remove these lifts out of here. Grab that lift. Thank you. Grab this lift right here. Confirm. And then take this one up to the correct height. We want it even with our grinders. Yeah, that's what we want right there. So then this one will come up the same way, even with our grinder. Like this. Boom. Okay. Now we've got a complete system. Everything is going to feed to the top of this on either side, and then we could just run a conveyor to send these out all the way back up to the top. And that's going to be our outputs for, what, 120 quicklime per minute? Yeah, 120 quicklime per minute should be enough. I don't know. But now, if this is our new quicklime factory, which is kind of absurd, I think this is easily the most complex build I've done yet. And I think I said that in the last episode with whatever I was building back then. This is certainly the most complex one. So this right here, the end of day 42, and we're running out of things to sell, I know, because, well, no, we still made about 40 grand. I have not stocked the machines in a couple of days, but I guess I had enough overflow. So now we just have to sandwich all this together, and this is our new quicklime machine. All right, we're doing away with this. This is producing far too little. Actually, it's not even quicklime, is it? Yeah, that's quicklime. It's just this, this machine right here. Now we have to do something similar for plant ash. This is just quicklime that we just built here for 120 a minute. Now we got to balance that with our plant ash. And to do that, we're going to need basically just two stone furnaces with 6 crucibles. It'll be so much simpler to do that. I could probably just copy and paste that, but I think I'm going to stack it like this one too. Okay, I finally got this machine all assembled together. Just kind of, it was over there in the 3 pieces. I sandwiched it all together. I did have to change one small adjustment to the belts to because I had the alignment wrong of one of these, like right here. I had the alignment wrong of the sawmill, but it all appears to be working correctly. And here is our 120 quicklime per minute coming out. I should probably figure out a storage box for this, but I guess the ideal thing to do is now combine this with some sort of sage so that we can start getting the fertilizer out of it in a couple of assemblers. But I'm sorry this took so long. I didn't realize how long this episode was getting. That is 120 quicklime per minute, and it is all the time I've got for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss a future build. We're going to finalize this in the next episode, turn it all into fertilizer, and then we're going to start running it through an assembly system, something like this, to turn it all into our basic fertilizer. We'll combine it with a little bit of sage, which I'm growing over here, and we'll get that finalized. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, guys. It lets me know you enjoy the content, you'd like to see more, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.